we're dreaming of reaching our first 1,000 subscribers. Subscribe and be the first to discover new stories every day. Okay, man, let me lay this out for you straight, like we're just kicking back, shooting the breeze over a couple of sodas. Picture this. I'm at this house party at a buddy's place. Music's thumping, lights low, people laughing, dancing, having a good time. And there's Amy, my wife, grabbing some guy's hand and pulling him onto the dance floor like I don't exist. They're close, too close. She's laughing, tossing her hair, acting like she's single again. My heart's pounding, fists clenched so hard my nails dig into my palms, face burning as I catch the glances, the whispers. I'm sitting there, soda fizzing in my hand, feeling like a damn fool, thinking, why me? Why now? So how did it all end up like this, huh? Let's rewind a little. I'm Steve, 32, a sales manager at a company that supplies industrial equipment. Think generators, heavy tools, stuff factories need to keep running. My job's all about talking to clients, pitching why our gear's worth their money, closing deals over coffee or in boardrooms where you gotta read the room fast. It's high pressure sometimes, with quotas and clients who haggle every cent, but I'm good at it. Always been a people person, good at turning a no into a yes. 3 years ago, I met Amy at a coffee shop downtown, one of those chain spots with strong brews and free Wi-Fi. I was grabbing a latte before a morning meeting, reviewing notes on my laptop, when I noticed her at the next table, typing away, focused but with this warm smile. It was pouring outside, wind howling, so I tossed out a lame line. Gonna need a boat to get to work in this mess. She laughed, looked up with these bright blue eyes, and said, yeah, my umbrella's useless. That got us talking about the rain, our jobs, the city. She was 29, a marketing assistant at a small ad firm, handling social media and campaign ideas, always glued to her phone for work. By the time the rain slowed, I asked for her number, and she gave it with a grin, saying, text me, but don't send me weather reports. Our first date was simple, nothing over the top. The rain had cleared, so we walked in the park, grabbed sandwiches from a food truck, turkey on rye for her, roast beef with cheese for me. We sat on a bench under some oaks, eating, talking about everything. Her small-town roots, my college days, how we both hated horror movies because they gave us nightmares. She had this way of listening, head tilted, nodding at the right spots, making me feel like my dumb stories about sales calls were interesting. We clicked, man. Started seeing each other a couple times a week, burgers at a diner, walks downtown, window shopping. Then it was every day, texts flying back and forth, her sending, good luck on that deal, or me replying, miss you already. First time she came to my apartment, it was a Friday night, place a bit messy, work papers on the coffee table, laundry in a corner from a crazy week. She didn't care, kicked off her shoes, said with a laugh, looks like a salesman's hideout, organized chaos. We ordered pizza, pepperoni for me, veggie for her, ate from the box on the couch, watching a comedy show, her leaning into me, laughing at the same jokes. Next time, we cooked pasta together in my tiny kitchen, her stirring sauce, me boiling noodles, bumping elbows and joking about my knife skills. The sauce bubbled on the stove, filling the air with garlic and tomato scents, and she'd tease me. Watch it, Steve. You're chopping those onions like you're mad at them. I'd laugh, my shoulders relaxing after a long day, feeling that warm buzz in my chest from just being around her. 6 months in, we moved into a 2-bedroom house in the suburbs. White siding, small yard with a grill, garage for our car. Rent was decent, felt like a real step up. Mornings had a rhythm. I'd wake to the coffee machine beeping, smell of fresh brew filling the house, because Amy set the timer every night. She'd be in the kitchen in her robe, hair messy, pouring cups. I'd kiss her goodbye, head to work, and she'd text me later, stuff like, crush that meeting, champ. Evenings, I'd come home, drop my bag on the hook by the door, and she'd have dinner going, grilled chicken with veggies. Or tacos on Tuesdays with all the fixings, salsa, guac, the works, laid out on the counter. We'd eat at the kitchen table, plain white plates, talking about our days. I'd vent about a client who tried to lowball me, explaining how I had to pull out spec sheets to justify the price, and she'd listen, ask, did you seal the deal? Her work stories were hilarious, like her boss mixing up ad deadlines or a client demanding a neon logo. After dinner, we'd clean up together, me washing dishes, her drying, then crash on the couch, TV on with sitcom reruns, her feet in my lap as I rubbed them absent-mindedly. Intimacy was easy back then. No pressure, just us being close, heading to bed, holding each other in the dark, whispering about weekend plans or dumb stuff like repainting the walls. One night, as we lay there, the fan whirring softly overhead, she'd trace patterns on my chest with her finger, her breath warm on my neck, and I'd feel this deep contentment, like everything was right in the world. Weekends were our escape. Friday nights, we'd pack the car with a cooler, ham and cheese sandwiches for me, veggie wraps for her, and drive an hour to the lake Saturday morning. Roads wound through trees, radio low, us chatting or just quiet. We'd set up chairs by the water, throw out fishing rods even if we rarely caught anything, the lake lapping gently, birds overhead. She'd lean her head on my shoulder, and we'd sit in silence or talk about random things, like what color for the living room or where we'd travel someday. One time, we rented kayaks, paddled out, laughing when I wobbled and nearly tipped. She splashed me with her paddle, I splashed back, and we ended up soaked but grinning, drying off on shore with towels from the car. Those moments felt like us against the world, you know? Another weekend, we decided to try hiking a nearby trail, packed water bottles, granola bars, sunscreen. The path was steep in spots, leaves crunching under our boots, sweat beading on our foreheads as we climbed. At the top, overlooking the valley, wind whipping through our hair, she'd turn to me, eyes sparkling, and say breathlessly, "This is amazing, Steve. Thanks for dragging me out here." I'd pull her close, our hearts pounding from the exertion, and kiss her, tasting the salt on her lips, feeling invincible together. We talked future stuff on those trips, buying the house instead of renting, maybe kids down the line. I proposed at the lake a year in, ring in my pocket for weeks, a simple gold band with a small diamond. Sun was setting, dock creaking under us, and I got down on one knee, voice a bit shaky. "Amy, you make every day better. Marry me." She teared up, nodded fast, said yes, and hugged me so tight we nearly fell off the dock. Wedding was small, family, friends, local hall with white flowers, a DJ playing our songs. Honeymoon in the mountains, cozy cabin, hiking trails by day, hot chocolate by the fireplace at night. Life felt locked in, like we were building something solid. Back home, we'd spend lazy Sundays in bed, sheets tangled around us, sunlight filtering through the blinds, talking about baby names or dream vacations. Her wanting Italy for the food, me pushing for Hawaii for the beaches. My chest would swell with hope, hands intertwined with hers, believing this was forever. But then things started shifting, little cracks I didn't catch at first. It began at social stuff, like a summer barbecue with friends, grill smoking, burgers sizzling, people chilling in the backyard. Amy was chatting with everyone, laughing, but when I tried to join, like saying, "Yeah, that game last night was wild," she'd turn away mid-sentence, focus on someone else. I'd stand there, plate in hand, feeling awkward, chest tightening a bit, but thought, she's just being social, no big deal. Shook it off, grabbed another burger, but inside, a small knot formed in my stomach, my appetite fading as I chewed mechanically. One evening, I came home pumped after closing a big deal. 10 generators to a factory, huge commission. Dropped my bag, said, "Babe, landed that contract I was chasing," expecting her old high five or hug. She was on the couch, scrolling her phone. Just nodded, said flatly, "That's nice," and switched to her day, some drama about a botched ad campaign. No excitement, no questions. I felt a sting in my gut, like the air got sucked out, but figured she was tired. Sat down, ate quietly, kitchen light humming above. But as I poked at my food, my fork scraping the plate, my mind raced. Why doesn't she care anymore? Did I do something wrong? My shoulders slumped, a dull ache building behind my eyes. Intimacy started fading too. In bed, room dark except for streetlight through the curtains, I'd reach for her, kiss her neck like before. She'd pull away, murmur softly, "Not tonight," headache from work screens. Once, twice, then weeks without anything. I'd lie there, ceiling fan spinning, heart beating faster with frustration, wondering if it was me. One night, I sat up, mattress creaking, said calmly, "Amy, we haven't been close in a while. What's up?" She sighed, rolled to the wall, voice sharp, "I'm stressed, Steve." "Don't push." Her tone cut, like I was a nuisance. I nodded in the dark, throat dry, lay back down, shoulders tense. Tried to sleep, but couldn't shake it. My fists clenched under the covers, breath shallow, a lump forming in my throat as I stared at the ceiling, feeling utterly alone in our shared bed. Then came the digs, sharp ones. At a dinner with her co-workers, Italian place, dim lights, pasta plates, she said to the table with a laugh. Steve's great at sales, but casual talk? All awkward pauses. People chuckled, forks paused, and my face burned, jaw clenching as I forced a smile. In the car, streetlights flashing by, I said firmly, "That wasn't cool, Amy. Makes me look bad." She laughed it off, eyes on her phone. "Just a joke, lighten up. You're too sensitive." Her voice had a dismissive edge. I gripped the wheel, knuckles white, breathing deep to stay calm. "Dude, what would you have said right there? Let it slide or call it out harder?" My heart pounded in my ears, palms sweaty on the leather, and I swallowed hard, words caught in my throat. "Amy, seriously, that hurt. Why do you do that?" But she just shrugged, turning up the radio, leaving me fuming in silence. It kept building. Her birthday party. I planned it, invited her friends, hung balloons in the living room, ordered her favorite chocolate cake. House full, music low, snacks out. She blew out candles, smiled for pics, but spent the night with an old college buddy, laughing loud, touching his arm. I tried joining, plate of chips in hand, but she barely looked at me. By the end, I was washing dishes alone, sink light harsh, stomach knotted. Next morning, over coffee, steam rising, I said quietly but firm, "You ignored me all night, Amy." Felt like crap. She snapped, voice rising as she stirred her mug. "It was my birthday. Can't I have fun without you hovering?" We argued, her face flushed, me pacing the kitchen, pulse thumping. She slammed her mug down, liquid sloshing, and yelled, "You're always making it about you, Steve. Just once, let me enjoy myself." I stopped pacing, hands trembling at my sides, voice cracking as I replied, "But we're supposed to be a team. How am I hovering when you won't even acknowledge me?" She crossed her arms, eyes narrowing, and the silence stretched, heavy like fog, before she muttered, "Fine, sorry." But it rang hollow, her tone laced with irritation. I felt my chest compress, breath hitching, as I turned away to hide the tears pricking my eyes. Thanksgiving at my parents', table loaded with turkey, stuffing, gravy. Amy complained out loud. "Steve's not romantic, forgets anniversaries half the time." Mom looked uneasy, Dad coughed. I shot her a look, eyes narrowing, but waited till the drive home, headlights cutting the dark. "Don't air our stuff like that," I said, voice low, gripping the wheel. She rolled her eyes, arms crossed. "Truth hurts, Steve. You're so uptight." My hands shook, breath short. I pulled over. "This stops now." She turned to me, her voice rising sharply. "Oh, really? You're going to dictate how I talk now? Who do you think you are?" I felt a surge of heat in my face, fists balling on the steering wheel, my voice low and trembling. "I'm your husband, Amy, and you're humiliating me in front of my family." She huffed, looking out the window, and the car filled with tense silence, my heart racing like I'd run a marathon, throat constricted as if swallowed glass. Intimacy? Gone. Months of excuses, too tired, not in the mood. On the couch, TV flickering, I try to cuddle, arm around her. She'd shift away, focus on the screen. One night, after another rejection, sheets tangled, I sat up, heart pounding. "Amy, this isn't right. We're married." She turned, voice cold. "You're pressuring me. Back off." We fought. She yelled about feeling smothered. I raised my voice, fists balled, pacing the bedroom. "How am I pressuring you when we haven't touched in weeks?" I shouted, my voice echoing off the walls, hands gesturing wildly. She sat up, eyes flashing, her tone icy. "Because every time you look at me like that, I feel guilty. I can't just flip a switch, Steve." I stopped, breath ragged, a knot twisting in my gut, feeling like I was begging for scraps. Promised to try, but nothing. That night, I slept on the couch, blanket scratchy, staring at the ceiling, my mind swirling with doubt, body tense and aching from the emotional whiplash. Tried a mountain trip to reconnect, packed snacks, drove through winding roads. At the cabin, wood walls, hill views, she was on her phone, ignoring my hike ideas. At a local restaurant, wooden tables, she flirted with the waiter, laughing more at his stories than mine. Chest tight, appetite gone, I said evenly that night. "This was for us, not for you to chat up strangers." She exploded, voice shrill. "You're controlling everything." Fight raged, her pacing, me head in hands, throat tight. "Controlling? I just want my wife to talk to me," I said, voice breaking, standing up suddenly, chair scraping the floor. She whirled around, finger pointing, her words sharp like daggers. "You're suffocating me with your expectations." Can't I have a conversation without you getting jealous? My hands shook, palms damp, as I sank back down, whispering hoarsely, this isn't jealousy, it's hurt. The room spun a bit, my breath shallow, and we went to bed back to back, the silence deafening, my heart heavy with despair. My promotion party, big race, invited colleagues home. Amy helped set up, but then flirted with my boss, giggling, arm touches. A coworker said, your wife's a hit, man. Humiliated, face hot, I pulled her into the bedroom. This is my night, Amy. What the hell? She whispered harshly. Don't embarrass me. No apology, just defensiveness. Jaw ached, breath ragged. Back in the room, my voice low and strained. Embarrass you? You're the one hanging on my boss like that. She crossed her arms, eyes rolling, tone mocking. Oh, please, it was harmless fun. You're acting like a child. I felt my fists clench, nails biting into skin, a wave of nausea rising. But I walked out, forcing a smile for the guests, inside crumbling. Spring barbecue with neighbors, grill smoking, kids running. Amy's inside, chatting with the guy next door, waving me off when I needed help with plates. Later, house empty, I said. Felt like you weren't with me. She shrugged, voice casual. Jealous again? Grow up. I slammed a cupboard, heart racing. It's disrespect, not jealousy. She laughed derisively, leaning against the counter. Disrespect? You're the one slamming things like a toddler. Maybe if you weren't so clingy. My breath caught, hands trembling as I gripped the counter edge, voice rising. Clingy? For wanting my wife by my side at our own event. The argument escalated, her gesturing dismissively, me pacing, until I stormed out to the yard, chest heaving, tears blurring my vision under the stars. To make matters worse, the everyday stuff started crumbling too. One morning in the kitchen, coffee brewing. I tried to hug her from behind as she poured her cup. She stiffened, stepped away sharply, spilling a bit on the counter. Steve, not now, she said irritably, wiping it up with a towel. My arms dropped, a pang in my chest, throat tightening as I muttered, sorry, just missed you. She didn't respond, grabbing her mug and heading to the table, leaving me standing there. Feeling foolish, my hands hanging limp. Another time, grocery shopping, all's bright under fluorescent lights, cart squeaking, we argued over something trivial, like which brand of cereal. Why do you always pick the expensive one? I asked lightly. She snapped, voice echoing slightly. Because I like it, Steve. God, you're so cheap sometimes. People glanced our way, my face flushing, fists clenching on the cart handle as I whispered harshly. It's not about money. It's about us deciding together. She rolled her eyes, tossing the box in anyway, and we finished shopping in tense silence, my stomach churning, breath short. Even bedtime became a battleground. One evening, after a long day, I brushed my teeth in the bathroom, mirror fogged from her shower. She came in, towel-wrapped, and I smiled, saying, you look beautiful. She sighed heavily, avoiding my gaze in the mirror. Steve, I'm exhausted. Don't start. My smile faded, a lump swelling in my throat, hands gripping the sink. Start what? Complimenting my wife. Her voice rose, sharp like a slap. It's always leading to something with you. Just give me space. I turned away, toothbrush clattering into the sink, my shoulders hunching as hot tears threatened, feeling rejected in the most intimate space. Summer concert, our band, outdoor venue. She danced with strangers, pushed me away. Need space. Home, rejected again. Enough, I said, voice steady, stomach knotted. She rolled her eyes. But that night, in the car ride home, stars overhead, I pressed. Amy, why do you push me away like that? In front of everyone. She gripped the door handle, tone biting. Because you're always there, hovering. I need to breathe. My hands shook on the wheel, voice cracking. Hovering? I just wanted to dance with my wife. Silence fell, thick and oppressive, my chest tight with unshed tears. Christmas at her parents'. She ignored me, talked to cousins. In bed, pushed me away. Morning, I said quietly. This changes, or we're done. She teared up, promised, but New Year's with friends, same, flirting, sidelining me. At the stroke of midnight, as fireworks boomed outside, she kissed a friend's cheek longer than necessary, laughing, while I stood alone, champagne glass cold in my hand, heart sinking like lead. Talked to her sister, Lisa, when she visited. Kitchen table, coffee mugs. I mentioned issues vaguely, and Lisa sighed. Amy's always craved attention, Steve. You're just background now. Words hit like a punch, hands trembling on my mug. Made me see how far gone it was. Ever had that moment, man, where it all clicks? Lisa leaned forward, her voice soft but firm. I've seen it before with her exes. She pulls away when things get real. You deserve better. I nodded, throat dry, a wave of validation washing over me, but mixed with sorrow, my fingers tapping nervously on the table as I absorbed her words. Tried a cooking class, thought it'd spark old times. Amy flirted with the instructor, joked to the class. Steve's clumsy, better at takeout. Laughter, my face burned, knife gripped tight. In the car, rain on the windshield, I said hard. That made me look stupid. She snapped. You're so serious. Fight heated, her gesturing, me gripping the wheel. Serious? You humiliated me in front of strangers. I yelled, voice echoing in the confined space. She shot back, eyes flashing. It was a joke. Why can't you take one? My breath came in gasps, hands white-knuckled, as rain pounded the roof like my heartbeat. Work party. Amy arrived late, flirted with colleagues. Steve's quiet, doesn't do fun. A guy laughed. She's right. In the car, I said coldly, stop undermining me. She huffed, overreacting. But I didn't let it go, pulling over under a street lamp. Undermining? You're eroding us, Amy. Her voice rose, shrill. Eroding? You're the one obsessed with control. My head throbbed, fists pounding the dashboard once, breath ragged. Beach day with her friends, she wandered off, giggled about guys they met. We came together, I said, voice low, waves crashing. Fight home, her calling me possessive, me pulling over. This ends. Possessive? You're paranoid, she screamed, door slamming as she got out briefly. Then back in, the car rocking. My body shook with adrenaline, sweat trickling down my back. More piled on. Home after a deal, she's texting, smiling. Dinner? I asked. Order something, she said absently. Shoulders slumped, I walked out to the yard, sitting on the grass, knees drawn up, head in hands, feeling the grass cool under my palms, breath hitching as I fought back sobs. Friend's wedding. She flirted with groomsmen, left me at the table. Hallway. Enough ignoring. She whispered harshly. You're ruining it. Ruining it? You're treating me like I'm not here. I hissed, voice trembling, hand on the wall for support, knees weak. Block party. She chatted neighbors, ignored me. Felt invisible, I said. She laughed, paranoid. Resort vacation, she's on phone, flirted with waiter. Us time, I said tense. Fight in room, her yelling. I can't be on all the time for you. Me replying, voice hoarse. Then what's the point of us? Body tense. I paced the balcony, wind whipping, heart aching. Office holiday party. She flirted with team. Stop, I said. She, jealous. Movie night. She's on phone. Put it down. Sigh, multitasking. Dinner with friends. She talked over me. Felt cut off. She, you talk too much. Grocery shopping. She wandered alone. We're a couple, I said. Eye roll. Need space. Park walk. She texted. Be present. Fight on path. Her stopping abruptly. You're never satisfied. Me, voice breaking. Because you're never here. The party where it broke. Friend's house, music loud. Amy ditched me for a guy, dancing close, body against his. Whispers around. Heart hammered, face hot. I approached Sarah, mutual friend, nice smile. Chatted, laughed, danced light, flirted easy. Amy stormed over, red-faced, yelled. How dare you dance with her? Betraying me, acting loose. Room froze, her voice shrill. She'd done the same. Hit me. Her rules for me, none for her. Respect gone. I said loud, firm. We're divorcing, Amy. No double standards. Party silent, her eyes wide. Relief hit me, shoulders straight. My voice was steady, but inside, my stomach flipped, hands clammy, a dry mouth as I held my ground, feeling the weight lift despite the chaos. Ever felt that flip, buddy? When you're done. The room spun slightly, my breath steadying, fists unclenching for the first time in months. Next day, filed papers, simple. Packed her stuff, boxes by door. Leave, I said steady. She cried, I'll change. Ignored, changed locks. Block calls. My stand, chest loosened. Epilogue. 6 months later, life steady. Kept the house, mine now quiet. Amy got the car, savings, fair. Saw her at a coffee shop, she said shakily. I messed up, regret it. I nodded cool, it's done. Wish you well, no back. Walked away calm. Dating Sarah, lake trips, dinners, work focus. Glad I'm out. Sometimes, I reflect on those early days, the laughter in the kitchen, the lake breezes, but now, With Sarah, it's new. Her hand in mine feels right. No tension, just ease.